All right, folks, we're going to be looking to start in a moment, so we should probably do that. What bracket is it? It's the one in the stream title? Greetings, citizens of Tetris. It's your old pal, Van Dweller, and we've got some more classic Tetris Monthly DAS Masters for you today. We had 2 mini brackets yesterday. We've got another one today. This will tell us who the next and final blue bracket top 16er is going to be. It could be one of these two right here, or it could be somebody else who's not on camera. So let's take a look at what we're going to do today. This is the preliminary A of the blue bracket yesterday. We put Scotto into the top 16, Tristop versus Maestro, then Scotto versus Tristop, and then Scotto moving on to that top 16. We'll be playing Giovanni. Up top, we've got Sharky and Alejo. The winner will be moving on to round 2 to face Peak. And then the winner of that match will move on to the top 16, which will be done later in the month or probably next month. And that will be against Rookout Rogue. That's not being done now. We just got the 2 matches today. Sharky and Alejo, the winner against Peak here in the blue bracket. If you want to see the entire bracket, what it looks like, that is the entire bracket. We had to put the semifinals down the bottom because they didn't quite fit at the top, but that is the entire bracket. It's a flat bracket. It's 32 players. If you don't understand it, don't worry about it. It's fine. As I mentioned, we did already put 2 players into the top 16. Here's how that's shaping up. We've already got one there, AV Geek versus Storm. Storm coming out of the 26th seed. And will be in the top 16. And then Scotto defending his spot as a top 12 seed and moving on to that round 3, top 16. So that is what we've got for you today is the blue bracket 2 matches. Sharky versus Alejo, the winner against Peak. And that is what is happening. Take a quick look at our rules, because do you even know what this is? Well, it's a 32-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System on NTSC consoles. Speaking of consoles, players can play on emulator or console so long as the game mechanics, appearance, and statistics are unmodified except in the ways that we ask players to modify them. They can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used, whether electronical, mechanical, or biological. You just use the built-in turbo, which is in the actual game. Level 18 starts all the way through. Same piece sets. Players, make sure to turn on your hertz and input display. Be sure to heed the spirit of DAS. Be sure you're not getting any real-time advice. Players in your ear telling you about your opponent's board state or how you should be stacking or anything like that. Is you in your mind alone with your game. That's it. Do not pause unless the commentator tells you it is best of 5 throughout, and the winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share in a prize pool, which currently stands at $543.43. We want to make an effort to thank our big contributor so far, Scott Gray, $500 here to the DAS Masters prize pool. Thank you so much, Scott Gray. Really appreciate all your support. Tom J also kicking in $28.21. Buffet Master with the $5. If you want to contribute to the prize pool, well, you should, because it's the only way that we get prize money in Classic Tetris Monthly, whether DAS Masters or regular old boring Masters. You, the fans, determine how big this whole thing gets. And if you want to contribute to the prize pool, you can do so if you're watching live right now. Go to the chat box, type in !Matcherino, MATCHERINO. The links will come up to the landing page with our partner Matcherino for this tournament. Click on that. Make sure you're clicking on the DAS Masters one if that's the one you want. And And then there's a 2-click login. If you have a Twitch account, you can log in with that. If you have a YouTube account, you can log in with that. Up at the top right, there will be a button that says contribute. That is the way to contribute straight cash, homie. And that is where the big chunk of it goes. But also below that, you'll see where it says claim code. And there are 8 claim codes left, or contribution codes. And that is basically Matcherino getting us to prove every single month that we can get 50 people to visit a link and click on a button. And that's important. So every time you click on that button, 25 cents gets kicked into the prize pool. We got 8 of those left. There's no excuse. Even if you're broke as a joke, head on over to Matcherino, sign in, and hit that claim code. 8 left. Will Das Masters be back in December? 50-50 chance. Thinking about it. Quite possibly. All right. Anyway, get in there. Let's do claim codes. Let's do them by the end of this stream. That would be great. Also want to thank... Oh, yeah. By the way, why do you want to make the prize pool bigger? Because right now we're only paying the top 4. That doesn't say... Contributions are not frozen. That's wrong. But right now we're only paying the top 4. If you want the top 8 to be paid, let's get to $1,000. We're going to set that as our... top 8 payout incentive. If we get to $1,000, we will pay out the top 8 in the tournament. That's a huge incentive for these players to know they can just win a couple of matches and then get a prize. So please go ahead and do that. Really appreciate everybody who's contributed so far. Also, patreon.com/monthlytetris if you want to support the tournament and the channel and make sure it keeps happening, or if I have to go get a job at Sprouts or whatever, stacking cans, that's fine. I accept that. That's what the market wants me to do. But if you don't want me to do that, if you want me to keep producing classic Tetris tournaments, well, patreon.com/monthlytetris is a great way to signal your support and to provide us the resources to keep on trucking. So I want to thank Scott Gray 76, K9 watching Tetris, Takneris for supporting us at the Mega Masters level on Patreon. Corporal 381 shall be satisfied at the Masters level. Bracket sponsor level, CatKit 91J in the window, Troy Dan Kim S. And our sticker and double sticker club level members and our community level members. People who contribute at the sticker club level or higher are eligible for stickers to be mailed to their homes on a frequent, although maybe not entirely monthly basis, but you will get about a year's worth of stickers over that year. So go ahead and contribute if you want to have us keep going. Patreon.com/monthlytetris. Burbia says, don't think there's a tournament in December, but I just said there's a 50% chance we might do DAS. We might do DAS. Anyway, that is it. Let's go ahead and see if our players are ready. See if they look expectant. They look expectant. They're like, we really... Here, we'll watch them warm up here for the last couple minutes here while I adjust the stencil. Of course, players will move their stencil around while I'm trying to fix them, because that's what players do. That is what it takes to be a Tetris player, is to move your stencil around while I'm trying to fix it. See? Exactly. All right, let us go ahead and get our players some pieces. The pieces are going to be B6, B5, F6, B6, B5, F6. Thanks for redeeming codes. Players, make sure your Hertz and input display was on. Alejo, I think at least I caught some part of your warm-up where it wasn't turned on, so just make sure it's turned on. I'm going to refresh our streams just to be sure we're 100% caught up. All right, it looks like both players are ready. I'm assuming they've got their hertz and input displays turned on. All right, they are turned on. Very good. Yeah, well, I'll paste it over into YouTube. The first one is Masters, the second one is DAS Masters, so read it carefully. All right, it looks like both players are ready, Sharky and Alejo. Let us go ahead and kick off preliminary A in the blue bracket in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And that is an L, a Z, and a J. So it looks like we are good. We'll try to adjust the brackets, the stencil for these players, and that's about as good as I'm going to be able to do. On the left side is Sharky, legendary, or at least a legend in the making, the voice of the Classic Tetris World Championship. He's been the winner of our Lone Star DAS Championship, known variously under just different names the last 3 years, but I think we've settled on the Lone Star DAS Championship. He's won it 3 years in a row against the likes of Matt Martin, Fractal, and Pixel Andy in the finals of those. Also a winner of a Challenger circuit, one of our earlier Challenger circuits, CTM Challengers October 2019. So that's like 5 years ago, won a Challenger circuit against who was it? Who was in the finals? Eris the Vorta. So there you go. Sharky taking out Eris the Vorta back in the day. 56,000 here for Sharky, 95,000 for Alejo. $5 contribution to the prize pool. Thank you. Whoops. Sharky also taking 9th in the Jonas Cup this year. And finishing in the top 16 of the Classic Tetris World Championship in 2020. It was a very notable run if you want to go check the archives for that one. Sharky coming in at number 20 seed. Got a PB of 1.25 million, according to the leaderboard that I looked at. Out of the United States. On the right side, it's Alejo, out of Argentina. According to the leaderboard, a 1.11 million PB, so it's got the 1.1. Coming in at seed number 29, qualifying in with a 990 average of 2. That was a max out plus a 969 for Alejo. And not a lot of info on Wikipedia about Alejo, so it was hard to find some. So if you want to help out and fill in Classic Tetris history so that I have interesting things to say about all of our players, get into the CTM Discord, go to the research lab section, and inquire about how you can help and how you can get involved. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh one of our streams here. We might be having some stream issues here. It does look like there's a connection. Okay, we're good now. 258 here for Sharky, 243 for Alejo. Both players at 75 lines, so Sharky with about a 2/3 of a Tetris lead. Alejo is the former LATAM champ back in 2021. See, we got to fill in more of this Tetris history, and it's become, more apparent to me as we do more of the DAS Masters. Most of the top players in Masters, they've already got filled out pages, and you can find almost all of their, significant match history, but less easy to find for some of the DAS Masters players. So I'm busy running CTM, but if you need a little bit of a project and want to get involved, and I think maybe trying to help fill in some of that history and getting involved with various projects for stats and history is a great thing to get involved in. Sharky 379, 361 for Alejo. Long bar over Tetris Alejo 384. Apparently in the countdown, well, I don't know. It's very contentious because one player got very mad about us putting memes in the countdown bot, but we actually did. For those of you keeping track at home, we did get a 3-2-1. I'm contacting you regarding your car's extended warranty. So it's kind of a rare Easter egg in the countdown bot. 455 for Alejo, 457 for Sharky. Why does modern Tetris use the same Liquipedia as classic Tetris? I have no idea. That would be a great question to ask in the research lab. I think they just put, you know, they have Tetris as a game and then all the variants of Tetris. 504 for Sharky, 524 for Alejo, same line count. So Alejo up by about a Tetris. As we head into level 19, the speed will increase by 50%. Sharky at 528 into 19. Tetris for him. Tetris Sharky 581, 556 for Alejo. All right, Alejo got a couple gaps in the stack, looking to clear these away. Ends up putting a little weight on one of them. Long bar over for a split triple. That's going to help Alejo bring this down and access more of these gaps here. 572 for him. Sharky now in the lead at the same line count. The 612 gets a Tetris to make it 639. We are best of 5 here in Das Masters, so the zeros next to each player's name is the number of games they have won in the match. First player to 3 is the winner of the match and moves on to round 2. You'll also see the input display. You can see the player's controller inputs. That's just a way we can make sure that they are staying within the bounds of the DAS playstyle. Sharky, a little bit of an overshift there with that T. That's going to cause a gap in a stack. Alejo getting up high on the board and can't get that bar over to the right side, so it goes high centered. It's going to be a top out for Alejo, and Sharky is good in game number 1. So Alejo had that right side open for a Tetris and piled some stuff on that gap there, that hole in column 6, and really just didn't have any burns after that, so he was all in on a bar. So Sharky is good. If you want to mullen it out, that's fine. You know, level 24 plus mullins are fine. Especially if you're on pace. I'm sure Sharky would love to get that consecutive competitive max out record back from Fractal. Sharky used to hold that record with 3 consecutive max outs. Fractal shattered the record with 6 in a row. Oh, he's going to miss that S-spin. That's going to slow Sharky down a little bit. He's still got space. Now he doesn't think he's going to get it. All right, it's going to be a top out Sharky. Suffer mullins, no fun, right? All right, let's get these players some new pieces when they are ready. You couldn't tell if you were good or not? Oh. Sorry, I thought I had said it out loud. No worries, you're good. You're good, I thought I said it. No worries, you're busy playing. You can't listen to every word that I'm saying, and nor should you want to. All right, let's get players some new pieces.
Your pieces are C4, F5, 8, 1.
I, for one, love Vandy comps. You're the only one, Sharky. You're like the anti-YouTube. YouTube hates it. Sharky likes it. Oh, that's very kind of you. C4 F581 C4 F581. It's a robot. All right, both players are ready. Let's get them started. Oh, I should do Peter Frampton. Oh my goodness. Vandy comes alive. All right, both players are ready. It is game number 2. Let's get them counted down. Sharky up 1 game to none in a best of 5. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. All right, Alejo with the 21 push down points to take an early lead. And now Sharky with the 10 push down points. Oh my goodness. Well, I am not one to encourage players to get in a push down battle. I don't do that. It's wrong. All right, Sharky with a little bit of a spire there. Gonna get a long bar down for a Tetris. That's gonna bring his stack back down. And now he's gonna open up those holes on the left side, or that one hole. So a couple Tetrises here for each of our players as we get underway in game number 2. I gotta admit, I don't know who here was watching yesterday where we kicked off this Das Masters format. But for me personally, it's delivering. This is exactly what I was hoping for in this format. Players who maybe kind of missed the top 16 because DAS qualifiers are so volatile, still getting a chance to get back into the top 16 is exactly what I wanted. And it's been great. And I like these little mini brackets. 102 for Sharky. Alejo getting up high here, gets a long bar over it. Alejo's going to celebrate with a fist pump. 85,000 for him. He's going to try to bring this down. He's got gaps over there, column 3 and 4. Columns 3 and 4. He's trying to bring this down. Sharky looks like, I don't know, maybe that was a signal in approval of Das Masters 32 flat bracket. Or maybe he just was happy to be here. All right, but players, do not pump your fists for my benefit. Play Tetris. I gotta admit, when I see players like pump their fists or whatever, I just don't. Keep both hands on the controller, for goodness sakes. God, you guys. See, he's like, whatever. Because if I caused a player to, showboat a little and top out, I would feel so guilty for the rest of my life. The very few times where I have had an effect on a match through something I did, I still feel guilty to this day. Like when, what was it? Didn't I say something? Didn't Nenu top out early or something because I got the score wrong? I still think about it to this day. And I'm still ashamed. All right, 289 for Sharky, 134 for Alejo. Alejo going to take that triple to bring this down. T goes to the left, flattening this stack out. Long bar Tetris, Alejo 165. Sharky at 291. Level 18, pieces fall from the top to the bottom in 1 second. And level 19, that will increase by 50%, so 2/3 of a second to get from top to bottom. And those will be the 2 speed levels that players will be playing on for the most part. At 29, there is a speed increase, but virtually unplayable. And even getting 10 lines into that is considered a pretty great achievement. So do not expect anything. If you're used to, nowadays these rolling matches that are happening where they're going all the way to 39, do not expect anything like that. Players will rarely, if ever, get past 29. 383 from Sharky. Tetris from Alejo, 221. Sharky gets one as well. So Sharky up by about 180,000 points. All right, Sharky, not going to go the aggressive route with that long bar in column 9. Just going to, you know, be a little patient. It's okay. And gets the Tetris anyway. So good pace here for Sharky, 432 through 98. All right, Alejo would love, okay, yes, is going to really enjoy that J in that J hole. Long bar down Tetris, bringing the stack back down. All right, Alejo going to use that square to get that double long bar in Tetris. I'm running out of places to put squares there. Alejo can't get the tuck, which I think he was going for the tuck there. He exposes the right side, but he's still got some work to do. And just 10 lines away from that 19 speed increase. All right, looks like his stack is going to be somewhat manageable going into 19. In fact, he is Tetris ready Alejo at 306. Kind of a low transition for Alejo, even should he get this Tetris, which he does. And he's pointing directly at the screen, mocking me, really. That's it. I take no responsibility. I've already said do not do it. Sharky with one more with one more Tetris he can get. Now he's just going to take that simple, safe single into 19. Transitions in at about 530 some odd. He's at 561 now after a Tetris. 382 from Alejo. That left side for Alejo. Oh, Alejo. Oh, no. And that's going to be a spire. That's going to be a top out for Alejo at 382. And Sharky is good in game number 2. Just kidding. No, you are good. All right, let's get these players some new pieces. The pieces are FEEA43. FEEA43. Future Equity, Effective Altruism 43. No, that's not a decider. Uh-oh. Seed checker. FEEA43. What does Alejo do? What does Alejo have in his hand? Is that like a remote control? Is he like changing the CD that he's listening to? What is he actually doing? It's like, all right, let me go find, let me put on the news here. Looks like a remote control of some sort. What are my thoughts on effective altruism? Not in this stream. You could ask me during the Vandy AMA. All right, just waiting for Alejo to signal ready. All right, so we're just waiting for the ready from Alejo. I think he's ready, but he has not signaled ready. Alejo, are you ready? Sharky's asleep. He's icing Sharky. Oh man, let me I don't know what's happening over there with the computer. Let me refresh that stream and see what happens. Okay, all right, he's fixing everything. He's getting it fixed. He's getting it fixed. Let me refresh both of our players here. All right, Alejo. Are we ready? All right, I'm gonna go take a walk around the block. I think Alejo's got some technology issues. All right. This is like Eric. Remember Eric would always have a camera that like turned off? What is, I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is happening. I think he's fixing the camera somehow. I would love to at least get an update as to what he's doing. Like, all right, looks like we are ready. Sharky, are you ready? If it works, all right. Looks like we are both ready. Game number 3, Sharky is up 2 games to none. Let's go ahead and count it down before everyone changes their minds. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. There may be some danger of Alejo's camera going out. That's fine. All right, some early trouble here for Sharky in his stack. Maybe the Alejo method worked here, but we'll see if he can get out of this. Would love a quick bar of some sort. Okay, nice flat burn here. Sharky bringing it down. 48,000 on the right side for Alejo. 71,000 after a Tetris. All right, Sharky bringing it down. This is actually that's a very tough board for a DAS player. Long bar down, Tetris, Sharky. Opts not to put the bar in, although that would have cleared everything away pretty easily. So maybe he's got another plan here. Oh, he's just going to build in column 8. And he's going to get that Tetris. So 64,000 for Sharky. 139 Alejo. Going to uncover that right side Alejo. Get a Tetris 163. It's fun to still be on the, I don't know what music you're going to hear on the YouTube edited version, but it is fun to start off each bracket or each broadcast with the classic CTM Trace Vector soundtrack. I still get pumped. I mean, I've been hearing this music for 6 years and I'm still pumped. Flexstyle.bandcamp.com. Tetris says, what the freak is a prelim A? Well, each colored bracket has 2 preliminary brackets, and this is the one that's on top. And then once we get to the top 16, then it's the traditional, 16-player format that you are used to. 146 for Sharky. Would love a long bar here. Let's see. Yeah, he's just going to take that triple. He's not going to mess around and avoid using the long bar for the Tetris. Just want to bring this back down to safety. And Alejo, very excited here. He's got a 269 through 66. That's going to impute about a mid 500 transition if he keeps his pace up. Sharky with a couple of nice pieces there to fill in the middle. And expose that well on the left side. Long bar over Tetris. And now Alejo fighting a little bit of traffic in the middle of his board. And a couple of really inopportune S's. So Alejo trying to fight this stack back down. Oh, this is pretty tough for Alejo. That left side, he needs pieces here. That's going to be a good one. That L, he's not going to be able to get anything over to that left side. So Alejo is topped out at 298. The target for Sharky is 299. He's got forever and a day to get it. Here is a Tetris. 299 is the target. And that's about 2 Tetrises plus a little more. There's one of those Tetrises. Tetris is here worth about 23,000. So if he gets the long bar, he'll still need a little bit more. There's the long bar down for the Tetris. Needs to get to 299. So basically a triple would take it. And there it is. Oh, no, he's just going to go for it. He's going to go for the Tetris to cap it off. And a long bar down for the Tetris. That is good. 319. Sharky has swept Alejo. And we'll be moving on to round number 2. Alejo, sorry if things didn't work out for you this time, but hope to see you back in Das Masters. And now that we're 32 players, I mean, players, it's just easier for them to get into the top tournament. So we're going to bring up our next match. It's going to be Sharky and whatchamacallit? Peak. That's right, Peak. For some reason, I wasn't going to remember that. All right. We'll be back in a moment. Got to report this, and I also got to run an ad. We got to make them dollar bills. Okay, so Peak is what? Peak is 13. So we need player 1 to be 13, player 2 to be 20. All right, player 1, Peak will be we'll be starting in about 90 seconds, guys. So, oh, whoops. Should I flip people horizontally? Sure. People like it when people seem to be looking at their pieces even though they're not really. But they like it. All right, just about there, guys. Sorry, it takes a little bit longer because I have not updated my buttons for the 32 player thing, so it just does take me a little bit longer. Alrighty, root players, make sure that your hertz and input displays are on. And we will go ahead and get these players started with some pieces. Your pieces are going to be... What I was doing is setting up Twitch in my TV so I can hear the stream. Oh, gotcha. Got it. No worries, man. Well, next time. Wallband says, okay, let's calm down here, Peak. Yeah, for real. All right, here are the pieces for the players. Although Wallband doing the... Wallband, that's like the equivalent of like if you walk by, you know, a lady in the street and you say, smile. That's like the equivalent of that. People love that. All right. All right, so Peak ran away. All right, here we go. Tetris. All right, Peak trying the icing strategies. 3-6 CC 5-3. It seemed to have had some effect. Alejo did it, so Peak trying the icing strategies as well. Anyway, the pieces are 3-6 CC 5-3, 36 Challenger Circuit 53. Hey, we're almost at 10,000 followers on Twitch. That's pretty good. So if you and 313 of your friends follow right now, we'll get to 10,000. All right, looks like both players are ready. It is round 2 of the blue bracket. Peak and Sharky. The winner of this moves on to the top 16. So let us go ahead and get these players underway in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Mari asks, why is the seed checker so high? It's so that, like, in the other scene, like my master scene, it's pretty low because I haven't moved it yet. And so I always forget it. But if it's that high, like, I'm not going to forget it because it's blocking the players. Let me go ahead and fix one of our cams here. It's hard to know. These players are very mobile. On the left side, it is Peak, a long-standing member of the classic Tetris community and a noted DAS player. Has several high finishes in some of our lower tier open tournaments for CTM, including Futures, Challengers, and so forth. Took second in the CT DAS Real Tournament 2 against Leo, another top DAS player. Also very, very involved with Classic Tetris League and a top 8 finisher in the 2020 silver bracket in for the Classic Tetris World Championship, and a top 4 finisher in the silver bracket in 2022, qualifying into the number 13 seed here in this tournament, and has a 1.2 as a PB out of the United States. It is Peak. On the right side, it is Sharky, the back-to-back winner of our Lone Star DAS Championship live in Austin, Texas. Has won that event every time we have held it, against actually some really good competition, because in the finals, he's beaten Matt Martin, Fractal, and Pixel Andy in those events. So those are legitimate competition and real, this is a real tournament there. Also, 5 years ago this month, won, I think, the second ever Challenger Circuit, if I'm not mistaken, against Eris the Vorta. So who can forget that? Who can forget that epic moment? 277 here for Peak, 198 for Sharky. Sharky also the voice of the Classic Tetris World Championship and the organizer of Classic Tetris Gauntlet. It's got a 1.25 PB coming in at seed number 20 and defeated Alejo to get here to round 2. Long bar over Tetris Sharky, 226, 311 for Peak. And it's really the, the proliferation of what I consider to be top DAS players finishing outside the top 16, which is what really led me to consider expanding DAS Masters at least but also the regular Masters to top 32, which there's a good chance that we do that soon. Especially for the DAS tournament, though, I think the qualifiers are a lot more volatile, right? Like the scoring potential is so much lower that the difference between like the 1 and 17 qualifying scores is just not a lot. And even the 1 and 32 qualifying scores is only, a couple 100,000 points. So made a lot of sense to me to have cast a wider net for players for this tournament in particular. But also for regular Masters, 353 here for Sharky, 455 for Peak with about 100,000 point lead. But even for regular Masters, it's starting to get to the point where the people that I consider to be top players kind of, often finishing in the, in Challenger circuit. And again, the skill gap is closing amongst the top 16 and even, several qualifying spots below that. So it just made sense to me to start to consider expanding the tournaments. So far, so good in this one, I think. 446 for Sharky, 532 for Peak. Tetris Peak, 554. Has 3 more Tetrises available. If he gets them, that would be a 600k transition, which is huge. Peak is known to get some pretty high transitions into 19. And in just about 10 lines, the speed is going to increase by 50%. It's kind of like we're going in a car going 50 miles an hour. Soon we'll be going 75 miles an hour. How long do you anticipate scheduling the prelims as the total tournament length? None. Because they would have to be scheduled as challengers anyway. I don't think it really adds. My hypothesis anyway is that it doesn't add much. 597 into 19, 503 for Sharky. This format actually makes some scheduling easier since we only have 3 players for these preliminary brackets. It's actually a lot easier to schedule than when there are 4 in Challenger circuit. So, my hypothesis is it's not going to change much in terms of lengthening the tournament. It may seem like it this month just because I was sick early in the month and had some other stuff going on, and Jonas Cup happened at the end of last month that things got delayed. But if we go from beginning to end of this tournament, I anticipate that it's going to be easy to get within a month. 566 Sharky, 645 for Peak. Sharky spamming quick taps here. You can see Sharky when he kind of moves his whole body and gets that body English in there. That is a quick tap from Sharky. 575 for him. Going to uncover that right side well. Peak gets a Tetris, 708. The only reason the whole tournament is running into next month is because I didn't start really scheduling it until, 2/3 of the way through this month. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. Answering questions in chat, as people love me to do. 638 for Sharky, 769 for Peak. Peak's been ahead the whole way by 100,000 plus. Got a 150,000 point lead now. We got fewer than 50 lines to go until that 29 DAS kill screen. Of course, in the modern era of classic Tetris, 29 players just, it's a speed increase and they play right through it. But here in DAS, it is still a kill screen until someone can prove otherwise. So players weathering a drought, that is not what Sharky needs to see. He needs to see lots of long bars. There's a Tetris for Sharky, 770. Peak at 897, 30 lines away from that 29. $934. There's a Tetris for Sharky. 934 Peak. And 839 Sharky. And at some point, Sharky's just going to have to hope that something happens to Peak's board, and Sharky's just going to have to keep on scoring Tetrises if he wants a chance, and maybe even set up for 2 toward the end. We'll see. But Peak creating gaps in the stack here. He's got the max out into 28, but gaps all over the stack. So I don't think he's going to be Tetrising too much. And this could allow Sharky the runway he needs to get back into this. So it's 9-12 Sharky, A10 for Peak, and Peak actually kind of in danger of not getting 229. And that's going to be a top out for Peak at A11. So Sharky has got a chance. He needs to kind of set up for 2. Would that quite get him there? It would. There's 1. I don't know where he's going to get any more points, and that's a 985. He's going to end up 1 Tetris shy of chasing down Peak. So Peak is going to hold on and take game number 1. Peak with the max out and Sharky with the 985. So a great game number 1 between these two players. And Sharky was behind over 100,000 points most of the way. So to end up within under 1 Tetris toward the end was pretty good for Sharky. All right, let's give Peak the point. Yeah, Peak did just enough. All right, let's get players' pieces. Pieces are going to be C6766D. I mean, if this game were played in 2017 CTWC, this would be like a game for the ages. Yeah, 2016, y'all would have been screaming. True. So even DAS play has gotten better. Players learning better stacking. They're learning, you know, the quick taps. They're better at DAS control. They're more daring. They've got better backup plans for when things go wrong. So the pieces are C6766D. Stacking theory has progressed, if you want to call it that. All right, C6766D. Just looking for a Frodo Dodo. Thanks for the raid party of 4. Appreciate that. By the way, if you want to contribute to the prize pool, use the Matcherino command. Both players are ready. Let's get him counted down. Peak up 1-0 over Sharky in 3-2-1 Tetris. By the way, if you are an Amazon Prime member, did you know that you have a Twitch Prime subscription that you can grant to the streamer of your choice every single month? And while it is basically free to you, when you give it to a streamer, it does give them a little bit of a financial boost, but it is use it or lose it. So do not lose it. It's just going to go right back into Jeff Bezos's pocket. You don't want that. Give it to your favorite streamer. You don't have to give it to us every single month, but, you know, keep us in the rotation. And above all, don't let it expire. You can just hit the subscribe button if you're watching on Twitch just below. And if you have one and you've connected your Amazon account to your Twitch account, it should give you the option. Tetris Peak 116, 69,000 for Sharky. Tetris Peak 162. Yeah, Peak throughout that game 1 was, you know, went into 19 with a good lead at transition and never relinquished that lead. So especially in a DAS tournament that, you know, 18 matters, you know. You can make an argument in kind of an open format with rolling and tapping or whatever that it matters less, but even then it still matters. Long bar over Tetris Sharky, 210, 190 for Peak. Sharky has the lead when the lines are tied. But Peak a little bit ahead in lines. Tetris Sharky, 256. Falkite says, it's crazy how 1.2 and 1.25 are 36 leaderboard spots apart. Yeah, I mean, you know, top scorers and PBs and all that stuff run much closer together in DAS, which is why, you know, the qualifying system that we have, now that there are so many top DAS players, probably isn't ideal for a 16-player tournament. So probably the number of max outs is a better, well, it always has been a better qualifying system, but you know, we'll let CTWC have it and we'll just deal with it by making our tournament bigger. And I think that corrects it a bit. 311 Sharky, 311 Peak, so we are pretty darn close in lines and score. Tetris Peak 381, 338 for Sharky. Tetris Sharky 384. He's a Tetris worth of lines and score behind Peak right now, so we are super neck and neck. Stanislaw said, how low does the leaderboard go? Asking for a friend who's embarrassed of his 700K PB. I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't looked down that low in a while, mainly because I'm doing, you know, Masters brackets for both of these tournaments. The DAS leaderboard has a max cutoff. That makes sense. Otherwise, it just gets updated too often, right? Once somebody gets the max, then and start tracking. All right, Sharky with the tuck of the T. Squares get over to the left. I don't think I'm getting squares over that high on the left. Sharky can, though, with the quick tap. 503 after a Tetris. 509 for Peak. Peak ahead by about 6 lines. Sharky has the lead, though, as we approach level 19. Tetris Peak into 19 at 538. Sharky already exceeds that, yet to transition into 19. All right, the J to the left, the skim of the T, open on the right side, has a skim there. Bar gets over, Tetris Sharky into 19 at 579. So Sharky 10 lines behind Peak, Peak ahead by about 11,000. Peak into level 21 at 643. 610 for Sharky as he enters level 20. All right, Sharky having to take a few burns here throughout level 20. Going to give up a little pace here to Peak. All right, a bunch of long bars when Sharky can't use them. Can't use any of them for Tetris. That's frustrating. Oh, and quick taps to the left side for Sharky. Peak is kind of in trouble. Peak going to top out at 704. So there is a chase down target for Sharky of 705. He's got to bring this down, though. And he's going to uncover that right side well. Great looking L for that left side. And he's just going to bring this down with a triple and a Tetris. 689 the target. 705, 15,000 points away. Sharky looking to tie this up. Less than a Tetris away. Can just single and double as long as he wants to. There's a triple. So yeah, it looks like he's just going to single and double this away. Or maybe he's going to set up for something here if he can get it easy. He's got easy burns, so he does not. Okay, there's the long bar for the Tetris for Sharky. Sharky going to tie it up 1 game apiece. We have ourselves a ball game, folks. All right, when you're ready, players, here are some pieces. But, you know, you can always take a minute if you need it. This is the last match of the broadcast. Pieces are going to be 0, 2, E6, E9. Yep, just a quickie, just 2 matches here. All right, we've got 2 claim codes left, by the way. Also want to thank Whoops for the $5 contribution and Zella Zowie for the $11.11 contribution. Really appreciate that. 2 more claim codes in the Matcherino. 02E69. Both players look like they are ready. They have got the piece, their pieces put in. Let's go ahead and get them started in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So, what was once a best of 5, now in effect a best of 3 as the players start off with the ILJI pieces. All right, already peak. All right, yeah, does have a long bar, gets it over. Tetris, good. Already peak with a little gap in his stack there. Gonna have to burn away a little bit to take care of those. So Peak with getting the max out in game 1, relatively early top out for Sharky to chase down in game 2. All right, one of the codes is gone. And we got 1 claim code remaining for our live viewers. Just 1 left. Actually, did I do it? I don't even know if I did it. Maybe I'll get it. Let's see who's going to get it. All right, I think I got it. All right, thank you, Monthly Tetris, for getting our last contribution code of the Matcherino. 104 for Peak as we get started in game 3. 100 for Sharky. Same line count. Tetris, Sharky, Tetris, Peak. $1,000 is our top 8 incentive for Das Masters this month. If we do get to 1,000, we will pay the top 8 players. Otherwise, it's just the top 4, which is a tiny amount of the overall 32. We don't anticipate paying anything more than the top 8 in this flat bracket era. I think it is reasonable to keep it at top 8 since we have also compressed another tournament into this tournament, basically, the World Circuit. So I'm happy to still pay the top 8 and let the lower seeds kind of fight it out for their chance to win that prize. Take it away from the top 16 qualifying seeds. 247 Peak, 184 for Sharky. These players have played against each other in a couple of tournaments here. They haven't faced each other in Das Masters yet, but they did face each other in a 2022 CT Das Test tournament. Sharky took that one 2-0. They faced each other in challengers like 2 years ago. Sharky took that one 3-0. And then in an very earlier CTL season, Peak took a game against Sharky 3-0. So not an extensive match history between these two, but the hope is that as we have more DAS-only tournaments, all of our DAS players will get more experience against each other. We get more matches in the database and build out a robust statistical and historical scene for DAS tournaments. But it all starts with just putting those tournaments on. Sharky, I think with the quick tap there, 329, or at least he's got quick tap body language. And a double and a Tetris for Sharky, 355, 399 for Peak. Tetris, Sharky. Peak about a Tetris ahead. Tetris is on this level worth 22,800, just about 23,000. And that is about the lead for Peak when they have the same line count. Oh, Javan T sees a 12.02 hertz. It happens. It's all right once in a while. As long as it's not the player's daily diet. Tetris Peak 517, 426 for Sharky. Getting pieces, stashing them high over on that left side. Of course, with DAS, you have you can't stash pieces as high as you can with the rolling or tapping play styles. So anything that you can do to hide pieces over on those first two columns up high, especially with those quick taps, will help you out quite a bit. 548 transition for Peak, 519 for Sharky. Oh no, Peak spiring in the middle of the stack. Longbar can't get over, and Peak is going to top out at 552. So Sharky basically 1.5 Tetrises away. The target is 553. Sharky with an opportunity here to take game number 3. We'll have to chase it down. 553 is the target. Has got forever and a day to do it. Trying to clear all this away and just taking singles and doubles. Does not have to play with a dangerous stack at all. Longbar gets in there for a double. 553 is the target. Yeah, you can see there was like a misdrop from Peak of that S-piece into that S-piece shaped hole. And that caused, of course, missing DAS there. And Sharky going to get that Tetris for the win in game number 3. So, yeah, you can see how exactly on the board how it happened for Peak. Was trying to get that S into that hole, or maybe early shifted, and then it just led to a whole domino effect of DAS. So that is DAS for you. Sharky takes game number 3. So let us get these players some new pieces for game. Arctic says, "C'est la DAS," indeed. The Vits betrayed me twice, says Sharky. All right, the seed pieces, whatever, going to be 9B D0 BF, 9 Bravo D0 BF. My hypothesis is about 40%. Let's see. Is about 3 out of the 8 contested spots in the top 16 will be taken by someone who's in the lower seeds. That is going to be my hypothesis. 5 out of the 3, the 9 through 16 player will defend, and the other 3 will be taken by lower seed players. That's my guess. Plus or minus 1. You're going to take the over? Oh, you think more higher seed players will get in? All right. You'll take the okay, well, very complicated. All right, Jasmine's here now. Jasmine heard Vits, and Jasmine is here. All right, looks like both players are almost ready. 9BD0BF, play of the seeds match. The players are good. Let's get them started in game number 4. Sharky wants to take it down right now. Peak needs to win to force a deciding game 5 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. They're starting with the SLZ. All right, early on, a little bit of a weird drop for Sharky, but that's going to clear away fairly easily. Let's see what he decides to do. Is he going to try to set up for something or just take it? No, he's going to set up in column 6. And how long is he going to stay in one of those middle columns? He's setting up the Vits. Jasmine loves it. And it's going to look for a quick bar to try to stay efficient. Long bar gets in. And we'll need another one. He's just going to bring this down. He's kind of playing with fire a little bit here. So he's just going to bring this down and reestablish that well where it belongs in column 10. I like the Vits coming from the left side opening. That's pretty swag. That's a much rarer Pokemon. 95,000 for Sharky, 74,000 for Peak. All right, Sharky pulling that or tucking that that L in to establish here. Maybe lost a little bit of dash, but able to recover it with a wall charge. Long bar over Tetris for Sharky, 119, and another one, 142. Peak at 142 as well. Same lines, and really Peak just ahead by pushdown points. 3s, 2s. Chess says that center well Vits was disgusting. Of course, 3s 2 says that Centra well. Centra. Right, no great place for the square for Sharky. He's got a Tetris there setting up, and now, of course, the game going to just dump a pile of squares on him where he's got no good place for him. So he's going to have to find a way to burn those away. Adjustment for Sharky. Pretty nifty. And now, of course, the game not giving him anything for that left side finally does. Okay, yes, he's going to make this work. Open on that right side. Meanwhile, Peak 239. Building out that left. Nice L to get Tetris ready. Takes a skim waiting on the bar. Tetris for Peak 264. 262 for Sharky. All right, Peak gonna spin that S in, try to get reestablished with the Tetris well on that right side. Does so. Now it's Sharky who needs to bring the stack back down to make that left side accessible. That T is going to work pretty nicely. All right, Sharky open on that right. Covers the well just in time. That's okay. Tetris for Peak 316. Yeah, Sharky just getting bad timing of like every piece that he needs, but he's making it work. He gets a Tetris 298. DAS players shaking their heads, man. Typical. Tetris Sharky 322, 339 for Peak. Sharky back by about a Tetris. Tetris is again here worth 23,000 points. And they go up by 1,200 points each successive level. Look at me giving the new players, or the new viewers that I imagine are in chat, the information. Are there ever new viewers? I don't know. All right, Sharky, I think missing a little bit with that J piece. I'm going to try to make this work. That's going to slow him down a little bit. 396 for him. 439 for Peak. Spins in the L. A long bar in column 9 to get that Tetris well established. All right, Sharky in a bit of a bind here. 400 needs something for that left side. Flat long bar burn's going to help. Opens up that well. Still established with that Tetris well. 469 from peak. And Sharky trying to get a well-timed bar. Gets a bar. And that'll bring the stack back down. Reestablishes a well in column 9. So when you got a column 9 well, you're hoping to get that resolved quickly. He does. 454 for him. Just 5 lines away from that 19 transition. 516 for peak. And Sharky kind of going for it here. He's going to take a skim and a Tetris into 19 at 480. Stack is low and dealable with, but not clean yet. Tetris for peak, 567. Oh yeah, sometimes the players move a little bit. We're into level 20, peak with about a 40,000 point lead. That is 1 1/3 Tetrises or 1 in oh no, peak in the middle, missing Das again. And we've seen this from peak a couple of times. So he's just going to have to bring this back down. This is going to give Sharky possibly the opportunity that he needs to cut into this lead. There's a Tetris for Sharky, 587. Line count is the same, and he's back by 18,000 points. Peak still cleaning up. Sharky flat and Tetris ready, gets a Tetris. And now in the lead at basically the same line count. So Sharky able to capitalize. Peak is clean now, trying to reestablish a well, but dependent for a long bar in the middle. Oh no, and kind of some indecisiveness on Peak's part. He's going to lose Das there and create some holes. They're going to be difficult now. Long bar dependent. That left side is a real problem for Peak. And he's going to top out at 617, and Sharky is good. So Peak there with some kind of indecisiveness, losing Das a couple times there, and that is just going to be killer on level 19. And really, Sharky was fighting all the way through there too. Maybe got in his own head a little bit with some of these, 18 setups and whatever, but he fought through it. And he was able to bring it down, and Sharky will be moving on to the top 16 out of the 20 seed. And another player below the fold moving into the top 16. And I suppose I should report these matches because I didn't. So Sharky against Alejo was a sweep. We'll watch Sharky mulling it out. All right, Sharky, there's not much Sharky's going to be able to do, but he is good. And let's give the man his 3. Where's his 3? Let's at least let him enjoy the 3. There's the 3. Sharky will be moving on. Let's go ahead and report these matches. We'll take a look at the bracket. It was 3 games to 1 Sharky. So our top 16 blue bracket is set. And we will show you that. GG's to you, Sharky. GG's also to you, Peak. Peak just seemed to have a rough time there once he got into 19. Kind of uncharacteristic. All right, we're going to show you the brackets. The blue bracket is set. Let's refresh. All right, so the blue is done. We'll look at our top 16 to refresh that. So that's going to be a rematch. How do I donate for Das Masters? Yeah, use the one that says Das Masters, right? The second one. Oh yeah, use the Matcherino command, and then use the second one that says Das Masters : and then a URL. The second one. Sorry about that, Kip. Yeah, I have to figure out a better way to do that. Anyway, our blue bracket top 16 is set. It's gonna be Matt Martin versus Sharky, a classic matchup. That was the Lone Star Das Championship 2022 finals matchup. Then it's going to be Giovanni versus Scotto. Both of those should be barn burners. So I'm pretty excited about those two. Yeah, it's going to be very, very hardcore. We'll get those scheduled as soon as we can. In fact, there's nothing preventing us from scheduling that like immediately. So we'll probably start scheduling top 16 as soon as they're resolved. I mean, we don't have to wait till all of them are settled. We'll just go along and do that. If you want to take a look, yeah, so that's top 16. This is blue bracket, how that shook out. If you want to take a look at the, oh, that's the scores. Yeah, the bracket. There is the bracket. So overall, two of our kind of our sub 16 players making it into the top 16, which kind of validates, I think, a little bit to some extent the format. So overall, I mean, I'm not glad when the higher seed wins, but it does show that, you know, probably the 17 through 32 is just as competitive and just as deserving to be in the top, the higher half as the higher half are. So, all right, so that is it. Thank you all for hanging out. Not sure if I don't know what else should we do. I guess well, let me tell you when the next one is going to be. The next mini bracket is gonna be, there's at least 2 of them this weekend, maybe more, I don't know. The next one is gonna be on Saturday at 10 p.m. So that's like 3 in the morning UTC, sorry Europe. But that's gonna be Wide versus Ian Keith. The winner taking on Nenu. That's the red bracket preliminary B, so that's this one. Hold on. Where is it? So the bottom one here, Wide versus Ian Keith, Nenu versus the winner for a spot in the top 16. And then on Sunday at 5 p.m. Central, that's going to be 2200 UTC. It's going to be Dylan versus Somalian, the winner facing Tommy NTG. So that should be pretty darn exciting. We're a little bit slow with scheduling the orange. There's some availability issues there. So those might not happen until, you know, the beginning of like next, like maybe like 10 days from now. But well, believe me, there'll be stuff happening. And we also have our Masters finals to schedule. And that will be coming soon. So thanks to everybody who contributed to the prize pool. We're at 561. Would love to get to that 1,000. We got a lot of broadcasts to do for DAS Masters before then, so we're on pace. We're fine. So thanks to those of you who have contributed. Again, if you do want to contribute, do so at the Matcherino command. It'll bring up the links. Click on the links. Also want to thank patrons. Patreon.com/monthlytetris to provide us ongoing monthly support. It's really crucial. Believe me, I can say this with no exaggeration, no hyperbole. CTM would have folded a long time ago if we have not started this Patreon. No joke. But anyway, thanks to Scott Gray 76, K9 Watching Tetris, and Tacnerus for supporting us at the Mega Masters level. Corporal 381 shall be satisfied at the Masters level. Thank you so much. Bracket sponsor level, CatKit 91J in the window. Troy, Dan, thank you very much. And our sticker and double sticker club level members. Stickers are going out soon, guys. So if you want those to go out and you're not a supporter yet, head on over there to patreon.com/monthlytetris. Also, thanks to our community level members and odd amount level members. Patreon.com/monthlytetris. Kitcha says, what's the difference between Masters and DAS Masters? Masters is an open tournament, which means any play style is allowed to play rolling, tapping DAS. It's almost all rollers now. And DAS is limited to the DAS play style. So the kind of original OG play style. So it's almost like different, you know how there's different swimming events, like backstroke, freestyle, breaststroke, da-da-da. It's like that. I have you on the list twice. Well, that's because you're extra special. All right. Thanks, Abby Normal. Okay, we're going to go ahead and find a raid target. Thank you again, everybody, for hanging out and contributing in any way that you did or can. So let us find someone to raid. Don't you want somebody to raid? All right. Yes, I do. Who should we raid? Let's see. I don't like to raid qualifiers. People who are qualifying, I think it's distracting. So I will go ahead and raid the DAS Champions League. Another one of these. Another one. Well, Pixelandy is. He is. Well, no. Let's go to DAS Champions League. If you want more DAS excitement, DAS Tetris Champions League has sprung up in the wake of this tournament. We've kind of expired some other tournaments. Pal DAS Tetris, thanks for the raid. We're going to go ahead and raid DAS Tetris. And yeah, more leagues to watch. The DAS Renaissance is upon us. And if you want to watch Pixelandy qualify for the Scooty library event, you can go to Pixelandy as well. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye. And YouTube, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, and we'll see you this weekend. Take care.